All right, so I'm setting a little timer, 1 minute per pose, and we're going to start where all good things start, in child's pose. So we're going to take ourselves down and onto the mat, and you can have your knees together or your knees apart. You can put something soft under your knees, that can be nice. And we're going to take ourselves down. Whoa, gosh, even this I'm tight for today. And so this is such a great way just to begin to open up the back of the body. So the bum is to the heels just as much as you can. And if that's not necessarily happening, that's okay too. So if you're up here, that's fine as well. So we're just trying to stretch out, give a little bit of a stretch to the legs, but mostly to the butt and to the lower back. And these are areas that often get tight. And the further out your arms are in front of you, the more of a stretch you're going to get there too. And just breathing through it. Nice deep breaths. Beautiful. Okay, so come on up. See what I mean? In a minute we can all do that. So take your feet wide, and you can either take a wide-legged down dog like this, or you can walk the hands back, a little gentle bend in the knees, and take the thumbs to the opposite crease of the elbow. So generous bend in the knees, stretching out the back of the body. If you prefer that with the feet a little closer together, if you feel more balanced, that's fine too. And if you want to take the legs wider, that's okay as well. So our target here is the hamstrings. But again, we're getting the back and the glutes. And just inviting in a little more blood flow. So stretching is really important for us. It's important for us to maintain our range of motion. Come on down. And you're going to take your right leg out in front. And so we can sink into a low lunge here. Or we can put the hands on the floor. Both are good. So taking whatever option works for you. Sink the hips. Whoa. So it's only a minute, only 60 seconds. And feel free to use whatever props you've got handy. So blocks or bolsters, books or cushions, whatever it is that you're using. So we're trying to open up our left hip flexor. Beautiful. And then we're going to take our right arm back, and maybe you can grab the foot. You might need to use your dog lead or your strap or something here to bring it in. And so that's going to help to stretch out the quad. Oh, strong. And also, if you have got hold of the foot, it might be opening up the front of your right shoulder and pec as well. Just because we're doing lower body doesn't mean we need to miss out on some upper body work as well. Just breathing deep. Oh, happy to come out of that one. All right, let's bring it back. I'm going to bring the toes to the sky. And we're going to fold ourselves down over this half Hanumanasana, or half monkey splits, as we call it in yoga. And so this one is obviously a hamstring stretch. And so obviously the time of the day that you practice is going to make a difference. I'm practicing reasonably early in the morning, and you'll know if you're live with me, it's only just past 7. And so often when we first wake up, we're much stiffer than we are later in the day. I've always enjoyed that about practicing yoga. Always practice in the morning, and occasionally I get to do it an afternoon or evening class, and I can't believe how flexible I am because it's not my experience when I'm practicing in the morning. All right, so we're going to take our foot, we're going to walk it out to the side of our mat and bring both hands down on the inside. So this one's a lizard stretch, and this could be heaps, or you might be able to come down onto your forearms. And if you're for a sucker for it, you might even grab that back foot and come into a deeper version of what we just had earlier, if you want that quad stretch as well. And as I said, we are only doing a minute in each pose. You can always find something you really like and just choose to ignore me and just stick with it. Stay in the one place. And so a minute's kind of a nice entry level. Harvard did a study that said sort of 60 seconds for a stretch is a minimum. All right, let's take that to the other side. Good place to start, especially if you're sore. Sometimes holding for longer than that can just make you want to cry. So let's come into a low lunge. One, just notice the difference from side to side. And so we can come up. And both of these are going to feel different, so maybe check them both out and then decide which one you like best. What I do want to make sure that knee is tracking over the foot in this position. All right, let's grab a hold of that back foot if you can, or use your strap. And once you grab that foot, that knee sometimes wants to flare out. We're not going to let it for this one. So we're going to keep hugging that knee towards the center. And keep sinking the hips. Keep breathing. And I always really encourage props, always encourage you to use things to bring the floor a little closer and make things a little bit easier. Awesome. So then come back into your half Hanuman, your hamstring stretch. And so maybe you want to take a block or a bolster underneath you to bring the floor a little bit closer. That can be nice here. As much as you can, close down the eyes. It means that we're better able to concentrate on what's going on inside. Get a better vibe for the landscape of our body. What's going on with that? And come forward, bring the hands on the inside. Now for this one, you are okay to let that knee and the foot come out. We just want to make sure that the foot and the knee are pointing the same direction. And so here might be good. On the bolster might be good. You might be able to come all the way to the floor if you're feeling flexy today. And then there's also the option to take the stronger variation and grab that back foot. And so in yoga we call it lizard pose. Beautiful, release it. So we're coming into a pigeon. And we're going to take our right foot in front and our left leg long. There's an option to take something underneath your right butt cheek just to bring your hips a little more square. And if your knees don't like that, this 90-90 position is great as well. So we're actually going to stay in pigeon for 2 minutes. But we're going to start just straight down. And you might be up on your hands, and that's cool too. It doesn't matter. And we definitely never want to force ourselves into a position. So we're just going to sink it down. Close down the eyes, find the breath. Notice what's gripping and try and encourage it to be soft. Then we're going to walk our way out to our left side. And so that way you're going to get a little bit more stretch into the right outside of the hip. Maybe even into the QL in the back. It's funny, some postures, the time seems to take so long. And in others, it just flies by. Generally measured against how comfortable the position is in your body today. All right, come on up. You're going to swing your left leg around and bring the right foot in and just fold forward from here. Now this is a nice one if you want a little block under the knee, especially if you've got any knee issues. I'm just going to fold forward. And once again, this is hamstring, but it's also lower back. I'm going to keep facing this way because it's going to make more sense as we thread the poses together. I'm aware that on the video it often flips the image. And so don't worry if you've got the right leg forward, not the left. We do both sides, so it doesn't really matter. Let's come on up. You're going to turn out to the side, right leg out to the side, left leg goes long. And it's going to take a little bend over, so a little lateral flexion. And again, a little comfort here can be nice. We're only here for a minute. Take an inhale to bring you up. And we're going to come into a half hero. So we bend it up. Maybe I'll swing around this way for this one. We're going to bend it up so our foot faces back. And you might be able to come down onto your elbows. You might be able to come all the way to the floor. You might be able to come onto your bolster. So whatever option. So we try and keep the knees in. And this is a good stretch for our quadricep. Now, if you've got sore knees and this isn't happening for you, you're going to come and lie down on your side and just hold that foot against your bum. So we're getting a good stretch into the front of that quad. Beautiful. So we're just going to roll onto the left side, take that right knee across, and make our way into a little spinal twist. So it's a nice little realignment before we take all that to the other side. The hips are going one way, the chest is going the other way. Sort of thoracic twist. Beautiful. Let's roll on up. And we'll take all of that to the other side. So starting with the pigeon or the 90-90 stretch, whichever one you did. And we're just taking the weight out in front. Whether you're up on your hands or elbows or you've made a little pillow for your head, come all the way down. And so I'm definitely feeling that the body is warming up. And just being careful not to push too hard. We never want to feel anything sharp or electric kind of feeling. And just walk your way over to the right side. So we're opening up into the right waist. We've still got all that action for the hips. And we're taking a little bit more into the side body and the back as well now. Lovely. Bring your way up to sit. Swing that right leg around. Come into a little Janushirashasana. So one leg bent in, the other leg straight, and we fold forward. And just to where works for you. And we don't want to lock out our knees, so there's a little micro bend under that knee there. And slowly up. As you relax, it's not long enough. And then take it over. And it's a bit of a side bend. And that foot's gone from the thigh and more into the groin now. Reach with the fingers, get long through the side body. And lateral flexion is the best for relieving neck pain. up. Whoa. And then spin that leg around to point back, bring the knees together and come all the way to lie down. And once again, if that doesn't work for you, you want to lie on your side and just hold on to the foot in that quad stretch, that's fine too. Roll onto your right side. Bring that knee up. We're going to take a little spinal twist here. So we're trying to relax that left shoulder down. I've got my knee up on the bolster. It makes the twist not quite as strong on the back. Nice, then come onto your back. This is where you're going to need your strap, scarf, or belt. I'm going to come to lie all the way down and bring the leg back towards you. And because we haven't really done much for the calf, I'm going to get you to take the strap around the ball of the foot and to flex the foot. So to draw the toes back towards you and really try and kick the heel away so that we're making this stretch not so much about the hamstring, because we've done a little bit for that, but a little more about the calf muscle. So we want to keep this one really active. And in fact, we can be even more active by pulling on the strap and pushing with the ball of the foot, making it a little bit more of a P&F stretch. And let me set off. Once again, drawing those toes in towards us, maybe again pushing and pulling. So we've got the action moving both ways. And then release it. Nice. Both straps into the right hand, left arm out. And take the leg out to the side so we can get into the adductors. Wow, that's a good one. Want to try to keep both shoulders grounded, both hips are grounded, just the legs moving out. And even though we're taking the leg out to the side, we're still lifting it up. So we're trying to bring that leg up as high as we can. So if you've got that leg up and in line with your ear, that's fantastic. We definitely don't want that foot to touch the floor. Okay, bring that leg up to center. And we'll take the leg across the body, but not all the way across. We don't want to lift that butt off. So just drawing the leg across ways means we get a little more into the IT band and into the hip. And again, the higher you can bring the foot up towards your face, the stronger the stretch is going to be. So if you're not feeling it, draw that leg a little higher, and I'm sure you will. Keeping both hips grounded, both shoulders grounded. bring it back to center and switch sides. So right foot comes in again. We're trying to get that calf stretch. So around the ball of the foot, we want to draw those toes back towards us as much as we can. And then if you want to make a little bit more of an active stretch, pull down on the straps and push with the ball of the foot into the strap. And then release it. You might find that that foot's relaxed a little bit, calf softened a little bit, and then do it again. Press and pull, active stretching, and then release it off. Great. And take both straps into the left hand, slide that leg out to the left side. So we're stretching the inner thighs. So often when I'm in class, I see people doing this and there is nothing going on there. Lift that leg up, keep it off the floor and bring it up closer to your ear. Then bring that leg back to center, switch hands and take the leg across the body. So once again, we don't want to lift our butt off. We want to feel that gentle pull down the outside of the leg, stretching into that IT band. It's very rarely I meet somebody who isn't sore or tight in their IT band. Just seems to be the way that if you do any kind of activity, then that's going to be tight. Nice, come back to center or release it. So we're going to come into a little number 4 stretch. Take your right foot on top of your left thigh and gently draw the legs in towards you. And here again, you can use a strap around that bottom foot if you're not quite flexible enough to grab a hold of the leg. And often you hear people saying, oh, I don't do yoga, I don't do stretching because I'm not flexible. And the only way you're going to get flexible is by doing some stretching and some yoga. You definitely don't start off flexible, but it comes over time. And flexibility just means that you have access to more range of motion. You're able to use more of your body in the way it was designed to be used. And just flip that over to the other side. When we're flexible, we're less likely to do ourselves injuries. And you know what it's like when something's pulled really tight, it doesn't take much to snap it. So we need to get supple so that we can bend, not break. Now I'm not talking extreme flexibility. We don't need to be able to do the splits or even touch your toes. But we do have to make sure that we're at least giving those muscles a little juice. Giving them a little bit of blood flow. And stretching will do that.